Baby boomers moving into retirement. As the population ages and medical needs grow, lab automation, pharmaceuticals, the medical industry needs more automation to keep pace. And here are the main growth drivers. When you talk about vision technology, this is what's happening in the space right now that's intriguing a lot of consumers and leading to new applications. The first is AI and deep learning. Probably doesn't need any introduction to you. You probably heard about AI, but certainly in the machine vision context for industrial automation, AI and deep learning is a big trend. 3D vision is becoming more popular. We have demos on the show floor that you can see. Hyperspectral imaging. We saw the agriculture
Test.
Using non-visible imaging is becoming more popular because it opens the door to new application areas that weren't previously available to your automation system. And of course, Industry 4.0. So this idea that everything needs to be connected, if you need good data to make decisions on, if your automation line or your production area needs data to operate, which many do today, a good way to get good data is to have a camera system, a vision system, data acquisition tool, and it's repeatable. So I want to pause briefly, because the next section of 10 or so slides, I'm going to go pretty quickly through, but I want to give you a pulse. I want you to walk away from here knowing how the automation industry feels for 2025. This was a survey we just completed a couple of weeks ago. Our membership of 1,330 member companies from robotics, machine vision, motion control, artificial intelligence, composed of manufacturers, distributors, users, integrators. That is who's answering these questions. So I hope you'll walk away and you'll have some insight into where they see the market going in 2025. First of all, first half of the year, what do you expect? You can see most, 48%, expect 1 to 10% growth in their sales. They're expecting upward trajectory. 29, just shy of 30%, say up significantly, and then the rest are either flat or down. But what you don't see is a lot of down or negative. Now compare, go to the next slide. This is for the full year, not just the first half. Look what happens. You see a lot more up significantly than you did before. So these folks, the flat, down, moderate, even some of those have moved up. If I go back, this is what the first half looks like. If I go forward, full year. So optimism for the full year is outpacing the optimism for the first half. And what that tells us is people expect the back half of this year to be stronger than the first half of this year. How concerned is our industry about the global economy? A lot going on. Just had an election here in the U.S. There's geopolitical concerns. There are tensions. We're operating in a more nationalist environment across the globe in many countries today. How concerned are you? Well, it's pretty normally distributed, slightly skewed towards more concern than less, but not by much. And when you ask the same question about manufacturing, which so many of us in the audience are, there's a slight shift here. And the slight shift is basically to the less concerned side. So we're going to do the comparison. 1, economy, manufacturing. Economy, manufacturing. So there's less concern about manufacturing as it comes to their sales, of automation sales, than the global economy as a whole. Are they hiring? Our industry, yes, is hiring. In fact, even after 2 years of essentially flat performance below market expectation, this industry, 60% of which, they're still bringing on people. Humans are still an incredibly important piece of this puzzle. We need people. It's hard to talk to a company in our space and not have them say, yes, I can't find enough qualified people. Which is why we at the association, with the support of all the folks in this room, are pushing workforce development programs, education, getting into programs with the youth, with schools, help make robotics and automation fun and a desired career path. Now, which industries among all available on this list are most important to the success in 2025 for automation companies? Well, general factory automation and manufacturing, as we talked about, that's number 1. Number 2, automotive. Again, still a huge customer for robotics and automation. But as you start to go down the list, you start to see what I mentioned earlier. You start to see other areas like electronics, aerospace, food and consumer goods, which had an amazing year in 24 relative to 23. These are big opportunities to automate processes in these markets that are still in their early days of adoption.
Restream's getting it.
Now, the next question had to do with what is the most significant challenge facing automation in general today? So the technologies, what are the headwinds? Number one, economic. Well publicized, right? Inflation, higher interest rate environment, some stingier CapEx budgets, potentially. These are issues that permeate all industries, frankly, but we're facing and we have to deal with them.